Hi, it's Dr. Joyce Alberts, clinical psychologist working in private practice, New Zealand. I decided to jump back on because this morning when I muddled my way through a recording, I was looking for a particular clip from the video that Joel from Surviving the Survivor had put up. And this is related to the Lindsay Clancy trial. It's day 15. And it was questioning by the prosecution. So the prosecution has rested its case in chief. That means it has presented its evidence to the jury to support the charges against Lindsay Clancy. They potentially reserve the right for a rebuttal. So that is after the defence case in chief, which is occurring now. They may then come back and put on some more evidence. But effectively, the bulk of their evidence has been presented to the jury. And this morning, there are a number of bombshells. So, this is now the prosecution cross-examining the defence witnesses. And there was one particular moment which absolutely astounded me in the moment. And also, I've been looking online and it's caused a flurry of news articles from different news media outlets, as well as you can imagine different comments on social media, etc. So I have found the section of the cross-examination and I will be sharing this with you. And it is with the permission and blessing from Joel from the YouTube channel Surviving the Survivor. So what you are going to see on the screen is this is Sue Clancy. This is the mother of Patrick, the father of the children, and Lindsay Clancy's ex-mother-in-law. However, saying that Sue Clancy has remained supportive of Lindsay and understanding of the crisis she experienced that led to the tragedy on the 24th January 2023. So she is being cross-examined by one of the prosecutors, a woman named Shannon. I'll just see if I can find her complete name. Let me see here. I looked at a news article. So do I have that? Do I have that? Okay, yes. Shannon with one N, Buckingham. Okay, and I'm also going to show a picture at the end of this too of the large white hair bow that she wore, Shannon, the prosecutor, wore during her opening statements. But let me push play, and you're going to hear Sue Clancy being asked a question and then answering the question.
And Thanksgiving, you remember Thanksgiving? Where did you guys go for Thanksgiving?
To my daughter's house.
And do you remember telling the grand jury that during Thanksgiving things were better?
I don't recall.
Well, do you remember her saying that she said things were better? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Okay. You were asked, what was Lindsay like during the big Thanksgiving gathering? What observations did you make? Answer, she smiled. The girls all had Thanksgiving t-shirts on that sort of matched. We took a picture. She mostly focused on the kids and interacting with the cousins and the aunts and uncles. At one point, she went off a little into the distance, and I approached and asked her how she was doing, and she said, I'm trying hard to get better. I'm still working at it. I asked.
So the prosecution is trying to make the argument that Lindsay Clancy, leading up to the tragedy on the 24th of January 2023, was fine. Yes, she'd had depression, but she was not as, I should say, she was not in a psychotic state. That question has been asked multiple times. So yes, at the Thanksgiving get-together that the family held, Lindsay at times was able to smile and interact, But clearly her mother-in-law, Sue, noticed that she was at times withdrawn, staring off into the distance, and took herself away. So she went and checked on her.
About her sleep, I thought that was important. And also the fact that she lost some weight, she didn't have an appetite, and she said things were getting better.
Okay.
Now, during the holidays, you in fact took some time off of work so that you were around a little bit more, correct?
Correct.
And so when you were around a little bit more, did you spend all day, every day at their house?
No.
Fair to say you would come sometimes play with the kids, right?
Yes.
Do shopping for her.
Correct.
And then you actually went on vacation.
Yes.
You and your husband went to Aruba.
Yes.
How long were
So the point being made here is that obviously the parents-in-law, so Lindsay Clancy's parents-in-law, Sue and her husband, were not that worried about Lindsay or thought that there was much to be concerned about because they went on holiday. So again, trying to shore up or strengthen the prosecution's argument that this was a deliberate, pre-planned, intentional act by Lindsay Clancy and not a result of a psychotic break.
you in Aruba?
5 or 6 days, I think.
And now moving towards Christmas, you had dinner with them at their house on the 23rd, right?
I don't remember.
Do you remember breakfast on Christmas Day?
Yes.
Was that at their house or someplace else?
Their house.
Okay. And then what did you guys do after breakfast?
We went to church.
And fair to say you've previously testified that breakfast was great.
Yes.
And that church was beautiful.
Yes.
And in fact, the defendant, she told you that it was great and that she was glad she went to church that day on Christmas Day.
Yes, she did.
And then after that, you're aware they went down to Connecticut to see her family.
Right.
Now, are you an active member in the Catholic Church?
Yes.
So you're aware that murder is considered a mortal sin?
Also, can I see you over here?
There we have it. That was the bombshell. That was the moment that
Another sidebar, again, the judge being extraordinarily careful here with these defense witnesses. This is Lindsay's ex-mother-in-law, Susan Clancy, on the stand. And the Commonwealth here.
I do encourage you to go on to Surviving the Survivor, the YouTube channel, and you can watch the full clip. So that was the moment that Shannon, the prosecutor, Miss Buckingham, drops a bombshell question. Then you heard the judge call the lawyers over to where he sits. It's called a sidebar to have a discussion. Apparently this was a very inappropriate line of questioning and a very inappropriate comment to make. But I'm going to share again, a little laugh in my voice. So, and then I'll read from you, read to you about what happened during opening statements. So let's just have a look at this picture. So this is a still shot that was captured by the Boston Herald, who were in the court, who were given permission to take photographs. You will see that this is the prosecutor, this is Shannon, and she is wearing a very, very large white bow in her hair. So I'll just read to you from the article from Court TV. So this is the Court TV website. It's publicly available. If you Google around this, even if you Google Shannon Buckingham, where's a hair bow, you will come up with this news article. So a defense attorney who formerly worked as a prosecutor believes the prosecution has made tactical errors in presenting its case to the jury. So what happened here was, this is Shannon, whose choice to wear hair bows each day of the trial. And in her opening statement, Buckingham told the jury, Cora, so that's the oldest child, had just turned 5. She was sweet, silly smart. She loved sparkly dresses and wearing bows in her hair. Each day, Buckingham has worn a bow in her hair, an apparent nod to that child. The defence attorney said it's improper for Buckingham to wear the bow. It's a way of of injecting her emotions and her belief into the case and trying to sway the jury to remember that this is an emotive issue. So I just wanted to share that because I'm fluffed my way through that earlier this morning. Showing you strong evidence for the fact that I'm not a professional. I really don't know what I'm doing. You might be wondering, why am I posting these videos? It's because I do have questions. I have lots of questions about what's going on in these cases. I have lots of questions about the way women's health is being treated, and issues such as postpartum depression and how they are being regarded by not just lawyers, but also, or the legal system, but by the mental health professionals such as psychiatrists and registered nurses. Also, I'm making these videos because it means I'm not chewing my husband's ear. As much as I'm sure that he enjoys spending time with me, I don't think he enjoys just hearing me ramble on and on and on. So this is a way for me to talk it through, get it out there, and I'm hoping that the number of people who are beginning to watch these videos are maybe taking away some new learnings, and maybe stimulating some thinking on this, and maybe some other conversations. If that is the case, I'd love for you to make a comment, reach out to me, and until we get to the end of this trial, I'll continue to post from my perspective as a psychologist, offering my thoughts, my opinions, and again, the questions that I have as to why this is occurring. On that note, I'll leave it there, so ka kite, and I'll see you